how much guidance are you getting from the city about the state of the curfew and your ability to do business right now?
Well, we had a curfew I believe it was yesterday and Wednesday. It's been lifted. So there's no curfew in place right now. But other than that, the city's in a state of emergency, and, businesses are, able to be open. The question is how much business we're going to have.
And this is different than the last time. And you've seen protests and you've seen unrest. And I know there's been parking that has been cordoned off and streets that have been cordoned off. What are you expecting? Are you telling employees to come to work tonight for a robust carryout business, or are you telling them to stay home?
Well, we did have the employees stay home for the last 2 days. We're closed. We've been closed for 2.5 days. And we're reopening for service tonight. We first obviously want to make sure that the employees are in a safe environment. And quite frankly, that it takes a little bit of, due diligence to make sure that you feel comfortable bringing people back to work. But in terms of what we expect tonight, I expect it to be quiet. We have a lot of loyal customers. I expect to see some of them, but, the city is kind of in lockdown right now. So transportation is very difficult. And, I think there's just we've never been through anything like this. So I think people are just on edge.
Well, it's a double whammy, and certainly you're already facing the COVID and the pandemic and the lockdowns there. Your carryout business, luckily, Centralina's got a market, which makes it a bit easier. People come in for groceries and the staples in that center city neighborhood. But when you've got this on top of that, and probably the next 5 or 10 years, Amy, in the courts is going to be defined by lawsuits over business interruption insurance. That's going to be the insurance fight to come. This, I think, is a different kind of potential insurance. Do you expect that you will get paid by insurers for lost revenue, not because of COVID and pandemics, but because of violence?
We were closed for 10 days during the protests in the summer. The complex where I was completely vandalized. Insurance doesn't really kick in until I think it's 3 days of civil unrest. So, it's a huge predicament here in terms of, how businesses can recover income from, situations like this where it's a state of emergency. Insurance right now won't pay out for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And right now I've had 10 days. And then we've had several days of lost revenue, probably about 2 weeks total at this point. So to me, it's a real issue. It's very distressing.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be. I don't know. You spend years building these businesses and brands up, but let's flip it. Later on in the program, we're going to talk about the vaccination rollouts with the doctor as well. Amy, obviously, many food workers, whether it's in a plant or whether it's in a butcher shop, food workers are in many ways deemed essential. Are you getting any guidance from Washington, D.C. on the potential timeline of vaccinations for you and your staff as well? Because ultimately we will get out of this. We're just all trying to figure out when.
Yes. We do have guidance slowly coming out that suggests that in the course of the next couple of months, essential workers, restaurant workers will be kind of in the first rollout. However, we don't have any details of when that might be. So my expectation is that we're looking at probably late summer before things start to become a little bit more normalized.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.